What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with living in Norway versus living in the USA. About to see some of these differences. Before we do though, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Oh yeah!
I think just overall they're very just environmentally aware. So you have a lot of people that actually use the bus, you take the trains. Their train system's actually very very well developed. And so yeah, whereas in the United States, you get on a bus and there's maybe like two other people on there with you. Whereas in Norway, you get on and throughout most of the day it's packed. As far as work goes, they're morning people. I don't know how they do
I
it,
love
but
it.
compared to the U.S., where most jobs are 9 to 5, they go from 8 to like 3, and they usually only work 7-hour work days too.
I love it. No, I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. I'm a morning person. I get up. I feel good. That's when my energy is at its peak in the mornings. Once it hits afternoon, evenings, my energy's starting to go. It's time to go to bed. But 8 to 3, that sounds perfect.
Go from 8 to like 3, and they usually only work 7-hour work days too. Like I said, they value more their free time and spending time with their kids and with their families. So they take less money for just more time off. Crime in Norway, it's
Once again, yes, less money, more time. I will take that because time. I feel like time is so important. You only get one life, and if you live your life working constantly, then you never get to enjoy life with your family. Enjoy life for yourself, right? So sometimes the money is just not worth it. It's not worth your free time.
almost non-existent. It's ridiculous how safe you feel pretty much everywhere. You can walk anywhere in Norway. Like, I've heard of most different missions where they have, okay, we don't go this place in the area, like, you want to stay away from this area at this time of night or whatever. Norway, like, I'd go and I'd check the area books and we had absolutely nothing about that because pretty much everywhere is safe almost all the time. As far as housing goes, most people live in a lot smaller houses than, I don't know, their economic situations would say they can. I don't know. It's something with the way they value things. Like, they just don't need as much space as we like to have in America. So they get along a lot better just in smaller areas. They like to be more so just humble about their housing, I guess you could say. Like, they say, I don't need this much land. Like, we can live on a lot smaller. Like, more people can live next to us if we don't take up so much space. And so they don't. And I thought that was actually kind of cool that they were a little bit more conservative in that way. They thought, we'll use less resources, we can get by on less, so more people can have more.
Definitely,
and it's something that's really helped their country out a lot. There's a lot less poverty in Norway just in general too. The government takes care of everyone really well. As far
the way you talking, nobody sound like the spot to be. No, the one I'm saying, and if it just wasn't so cold there, I would think there was the perfect place. But me and cold are bitter enemies. We are as enemies as it gets. But it sounds absolutely amazing down there. The people sound awesome.
the government takes care of everyone really well.
I love that.
As far as what you have people doing for work, you have a lot of I'd say a lot more common jobs. Like, you have a lot more people, just working in construction, working, fixing telephone wires, or doing just a lot of, I'd say, just, manual labor as compared to the U.S., where it seems like everyone's working an office job. You have a lot less people, I'd say, working office jobs than you do in the United States. Okay. But that's the thing, they get paid a lot more in Norway too for doing manual labor and for doing everything else.
What they get paid?
Like, for instance, one of my friends from my last areas is coming over, to spend about a month vacation in the U.S., and he's working as a grocery store clerk. Yeah. And he's making a ton of money doing that. And, he can afford to come to the United States for a month just off of his grocery store clerk salary.
How? A month. He said a month. Vacation. A month. Off of his grocery store clerk salary. That's not possible. And like, does he live on his own and like He got everything paid, all his bills. Y'all really getting paid that much out there? That's crazy.
All my friends laugh at that. We thought, oh, let's just go work in Norway for the rest of our lives. It's great.
I swear to
I'd say the minimum
God.
wage is, about maybe $25 an hour or something like that. It's really good. So, yeah, they just make sure everyone's paid really well over there. As long as they're working, it's doing, then they're going to get paid well. I think the idea
Lord.
behind that is they don't want you on welfare. So, if you're on welfare, you're doing pretty well as well. It's just if you have a job, then you're going to be doing better. So, they have a nice.
25 an hour is crazy. Minimum wage. Oh my God. And are the living expenses about the same as the U.S.? Because if the living expenses are the same, about this, and you're getting paid 25 an hour, oh my God. No wonder y'all taking all that time off. Y'all don't need the extra money. Yeah, y'all don't need, y'all are making bank. Y'all don't need the extra money.
Nice system over there just to try to help people to find jobs as well. Usually have a very large government building kind of in the downtown areas of each town that's dedicated to, helping people find jobs. So there's one thing in general in Norway that's a little bit different than most places. Norway is becoming much more of a melting pot of just different cultures than it has been, traditionally, and a lot more than most European countries are now. Because a lot of people will, if they have problems in their own country, they'll flee to Norway. So we talk to a lot of people from, different countries in Africa, different places in the Middle East. A lot of people even too in the Eastern Bloc of Europe would just come to Norway because, things are better, or, a different conflict broke out and they had to leave their country for some reason. So we'd end up talking to a lot of people from, different countries in Africa and everything. I remember we got invited to play soccer just one P-Day with one of our investigators who was from, Rwanda. And we were just playing soccer with a bunch of these other people, who were refugees in Norway. And there were like 5 different languages going off and, all sorts of different, try this. And I don't know, me and my companion just spoke English and Norwegian. We couldn't understand like the Italian, the different like Somalia. Yeah, there were a couple guys from Somalia that were there. And it was just a very just overall cultural experience. You get to experience a ton of different cultures in Norway. For the most part, too, I taught a lot of people from the Middle East, and that's a very interesting culture to get into as well. I gained a lot of respect for them and a lot of, I just feel a lot more cultured after talking to them, and I understand them a lot better. I have a lot more love for the people over there, too, as well. I'd say one of the main differences, too, is, and you'll notice this throughout a lot of the European school systems, is they specialize a lot sooner. You get to specialize in high school whether you want it. I remember there's like a sports line for, people who are either end up doing a lot of manual labor or just going to professional athletics. There's just kind of the general line if you keep going with, math, sciences, English, and everything else. And then there's a couple other different lines. Like I remember there was this, it's the same kid who, we talked a lot about, just he wanted to be Mormon because of the lifestyle. He was studying to become a carpenter in high school and had already made a ton of money, just working internships and everything else, becoming a carpenter. So
That's crazy. So you get to specialize sooner as well. I love that. If you know like what you want to do, what you're gonna do, then I absolutely love that. But even if you don't know, it sounds like right, you can still keep going for all these all the classes that you normally go for, like in the U.S., your math, history, science, all that. You can still go if you don't know. But if you know what you want to do, you can start specializing in that area. Start making a bunch of money while in school with these different internships and stuff. That's really dope.
that's one interesting thing. And like I said, you see that all over the place in Europe is they specialize just right off the bat in high school. The summer in Norway is probably the most amazing thing ever. Mostly because you get the exact opposite of what you do in the winter, except it's really just, very nice warm conditions. They get up to maybe like the mid 80s, and that's a really hot day in Norway. Other than that, the sun's out all the time. And so, just you're walking around in the middle of the street, you look down at your watch and, oh snap, we need to be home like right now. It's 9 o'clock and the sun's still up in the sky and it's not going down for the next couple months. So
That's insane.
it's crazy. Everyone over there really loves the summer. People are always out, and they're always out doing something, figuring something out. It's just a very active time, I guess, in Norway.
Okay, Norway, I might come out for a visit during summertime. one of these summers I might be out there for a little quick visit. But that's all we got. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon and drop it in the comment section. It's your boy D Neal out.